Okay, so this is the Akko 3087DS Matcha Red Bean. It's an 87 key thank-you-less keyboard that's as basic as they come, but it's also as reliable as they come. In this video, we're going to talk about everything there is to know about this keyboard, but before getting ahead of myself, let's actually start with the unboxing experience. Now, the Akko 3087DS Matcha Red Bean by itself actually comes with a sleeve that's green, looks really nice, and gives you all the information about the keyboard that you're actually trying to unbox, as well as the type of switches and everything on the box. When you remove the green sleeve, you're going to get a black box. Inside of this black box, you're going to get your keyboard in all of its glory, wrapped in some styrofoam material, as well as with a dust cover. When you take this out, you're going to have some paperwork, basically a manual that's both in English and Cantonese for both markets, I suppose, and it's going to give you instructions on how to use the macros on this keyboard and so on and so forth. You're also going to get a keycap remover, which is the wire keycap puller, the original kind that's not going to damage your keycaps, and you are going to get two other smaller black boxes. One of the boxes is going to contain extra keycaps, that is different colorway keycaps that you can use to change the colorway or the design of your keyboard as you wish, and some extra keycaps that you may not even need at all for things like your escape key and so on and so forth. The second black box contains the USB-C cable. It's a green matcha matched color that actually matches the keyboard itself, and it's actually a really high quality cable even though it's not braided. It's pretty thick. I should also point out the fact that this cable is actually designed to fit directly into the keyboard, so it actually slots in perfectly and locks in so that your cable isn't constantly pulling off of your keyboard, which is actually pretty impressive. Now, talking about the build quality for this keyboard, it's entirely plastic, but it's actually really high quality plastic that doesn't give or have any flex when I try to flex it or twist it with both my hands. I'm a fairly muscular person, so if it was flimsy, I'll tell you. Now, on the back of this keyboard, you actually get 4 non-slip rubber feet at the bottom that come in white, and they actually help you keep this board on your desk and don't have it dancing around when you're actually using the board. And you also get 2 extra height adjustments, that is 2 extra flip-up fit in 2 separate heights that you probably will never use because they are simply not ergonomical. At least for my usage or my fingers, I can't seem to use them because the height is just too awkward. Beyond that, you actually get 2 extra ways to route your cable. So for example, if you're somebody who wants to route the cable for your keyboard to the left or to the right, because that's where the cable goes on your desk, you can very easily do that if you don't want to run it through the center. Now, moving on to the keycaps, as you can see from the name, it says Akko 3087DS, and the DS stands for double shot. These are double shot PBT keycaps that are actually really nice to the touch. They feel nice and they're not going to fade over time or get any finger grease or shine because you actually use your keyboard every day. They're going to stand the test of time. I like them. As for the key switches, you have an option of 7 different key switches you can select when buying this keyboard. You have options for Kagan as well as Akko proprietary switches, and beyond that, my particular unit actually came with the Akko pink switches. They type linear, you know, they feel like reds, but they have a little clack to them, so they also sound a little like browns, which is not bad. Interestingly, the stabilizers on this actually came in white, probably to match the colorway of the entire keyboard, I'm not sure, but they look really nice and they actually do the job fantastic. I was able to get next to 0 rattle on my spacebar and every other key that actually uses stabilizers on this keyboard, and I thought that was pretty impressive. Now let's actually do a quick type test to show you what this keyboard sounds like with the double shot PBT keycaps and the Akko pink switches on this particular board, so that you can get a sense or a feel for what the board is going to sound like if you actually purchased one. Now, at the beginning of this video, I pointed out that this keyboard was as basic as they come, but also as reliable as they come. It doesn't have any bells and whistles. Yes, it does have NKRO rollover. Yes, it does have anti-ghosting. Yes, you do have function layers, and yes, you can set up some macros with the Akko Macro V1.0, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and it works fine. But the truth is, a keyboard that doesn't have Bluetooth, does not have RGB, does not have any fancy functions, just a basic keyboard, a basic mechanical keyboard that actually gives you really nice options for switches in Kagan or Akko proprietary, and you have some really nice keycaps that are going to stand the test of time. And I suppose the biggest selling point for this keyboard is going to have to be the colorway options and how you can customize it to match up with the Matcha red bin type of color scheme, colorway type thing, which is really nice. But that is pretty much everything there is to know or say about this keyboard. I think it's a very reliable basic keyboard, and honestly, the best way to describe this keyboard in my keyboard collection is Fernandinho. A dependable, reliable, straightforward, basic, back to the basics type of keyboard that does absolutely everything you need but doesn't give you any much more than that. Anyways, that was pretty much all my thoughts about the Akko 3087 DS Matcha Red Bean. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I guess I will see you on another video that was shot by Kagan. Peace.
The Khan of God!